Let me tell you a real life ghost story. And I know this is a true real life ghost story because it happened to me. As I film this, I'm sitting in a hotel room in Hobart, Tasmania, Australia. And the first time I came to Hobart was about 20 years ago. And I booked a room, indeed my girlfriend at the time, who then became my wife, booked a room for me in a fairly rundown hotel. I didn't know this, couldn't afford an expensive place, but I got off the plane and I caught a taxi to a hotel and it was all shut down. And then there was this A4 bit of paper in the window with a phone number. And I dialed that number and someone let me into the hotel. The guy took me to a room. There's this backpackers area at the back of this hotel. And he said, "This is your room." So I got comfortable and got ready to go to sleep. And then at about 10 o'clock at night, some of the backpackers started to come home. And I could hear people boom, 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 boom up the stairs and boom, 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 boom down the corridor. And, you know, doing the things that backpackers do when they get home after having a few drinks. Now, I was a little bit frustrated because I needed to get to sleep. But however, boom, 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 they kept carrying on. And I didn't want to be that guy, that older guy in the backpackers that suddenly, you know, yells at the young people for having a good time. But as it got later, I got more and more frustrated and annoyed. So eventually I lost my shit and boom, 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 up the stairs, boom, 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 down the corridor, boom, 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 jumped out of bed, swung the door open to say, "Hey, can you please just go to bed?" There's no one there. No one there at all. Everything went completely quiet. So I went down the corridor, there was no one there. I went up the stairs, I could hear people going up and down the stairs, there was no one there. I went into all the rooms, one by one, in this backpackers. There was no one in any of the rooms. So I went, I went back to my room and shut the door and pushed my bag against the door and tried to get to sleep. Next day on the way out, I saw the owner pottering around the bar area and I said, "Hey, were there a lot of backpackers in the hostel last night?" And he said, "Oh, no, none, man. You're the only guy. You're the only person staying here." So I left, but that's not where the story ends. About 10 years later, my friends Jono and Rob bought a bar in Hobart. And because I was going to Hobart, I thought I'd check out Rob and Jono's bar. And Jono was working there, so I went to the address that I was given and I turned up and it was beautiful. Been totally renovated, this place. Had the largest Chesterfield in the Southern Hemisphere in the front bar. Looked beautiful. And I'm walking around going, this place looks familiar. And as Jono gave me the tour and he took me to the back end of the hotel, into the backpackers area, I suddenly went, whoa, this is the place. This is the place that I had that creepy experience in. So I said, "John, I got a story to tell you about this place." And he said, "Hang on, before you tell me that story, we're about to go out for dinner with a whole bunch of our guests." So we all went out to dinner, a whole bunch of us, to a Thai restaurant. And during that dinner, I said, "Whoa, have I got a story, a spooky story to tell you all about the hotel?" And Jono shut me down. He said, "Ha, ghosts, not in our hotel." Ha, 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 ha. And he shut me down. So then later in the night, everyone had left and they'd gone on their merry way. And Jono turned around and said, "Boy, have I got some stories for you." And Jono had stayed in this hotel for 6 months on his own while it was being renovated. And shit went down. He heard women wailing, babies crying. One day someone was bum, 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 banging on his door and he could see the door shake. Scary stories. But it doesn't end there. No. And that is because about 5 years after that, the hotel, after being a hotel in Hobart for maybe 150 years, it mysteriously burnt down to the ground. And that is the end of my ghost story. From scary backpackers to wailing children to the whole building burning down to the ground. All true, all real.